Good. Mic okay, camera okay, Akshay?
Yeah.
Let's wait for 10 seconds. People are joining. Should we start?
Yeah.
Okay. Hi guys, welcome to the first live video of Uniris in English. We have with us Akshay, who's our Chief Product Officer, and me, Vishnupriya, who manages marketing and PR. So this live video is all about Uniris as a blockchain and biometrics startup. We'll talk about our use cases, and we'll also talk about the interesting part, which is Yuko as a token. But before we kind of, deep dive into all those topics and Akshay gives us more insights there, I quickly wanted to give some background to the project. So just to quickly tell you all, Uniris is a French Indo blockchain and biometrics company based out of France. The company itself is started by three highly qualified and experienced professionals from the field of cybersecurity and digital payments, with Sebastian being our CEO, Nilesh being our Chief Operating Officer, and Christoph being our Chief Security Officer. And Akshay here is one of our earliest employees in Uniris. So Akshay, if you could say hi to the community now and share some interesting stories with us on the journey so far that you've had with Uniris.
Oh yes, yeah. Hello everyone. I'm Akshay. I've been working with Uniris from the last 3 years. So the story of Uniris dates back for a very long time ago. So it's almost 10 years ago when Sebastian, the CEO of Uniris, and Nilesh, the CEO of Uniris, when they met. So Sebastian back then, he was heading the Orange Money, which had almost 100 million customers in Africa. And Nilesh, who headed the payments technology at Barclays. And when they first met, they started discussing about blockchain and decentralized space. But after a few years, when Sebastian continued to work in the payments technology massively, throughout Africa, he definitely realized the flaws of centralized payment technologies. So Seb quit the 4 billion euro conglomerate, and then he started Uniris. So at Uniris, from 2017, what Sebastian started to build all the patents, to write all the patents, to file them in all the countries. And slowly, Seb and Nilesh together started. And then Christoph joined from his very different non-technical background. And then the inception of Uniris was created. And for me, I'm just the second employee at Uniris. And right now we are increasing massively. Our team is increasing massively. So far, this has been the background and the reason as to why Seb, Nilesh, and Christoph wanted to move from centralized to a decentralized space, and what has happened so far.
So that is a great, Akshay. And just to add on to Akshay, for everyone, Uniris is often talked about in terms of decentralized identity, because that's one of the key problems we are solving in the area. But there are three pillars, three very exciting and innovative pillars to the project: the Uniris blockchain, the Uniris biometrics, and Yuko itself as a token. So we'll cover all this, as we kind of go ahead in the video and do more live videos in the future. But to start with, let's start, by Akshay giving us a background as to why do we say that Uniris is a complete decentralized blockchain and biometric startup, and the journey and the roadmap that we've covered so far. So if you could tell something more about it, Akshay, to our community, that will be great.
Yes. So why Uniris is a complete solution, as its background? So basically, when Seb and Nilesh, when they started, they initially thought of building a decentralized marketplace, right? So then, like at that time, the only blockchain available was Ethereum blockchain, and as you know, Ethereum can handle very less number of transactions. So for a marketplace with almost thousands of transactions every minute or every second, building it on Ethereum blockchain makes no sense. So, so they decided to build a new blockchain from grounds up, uh, taking all their technical and their managerial expertise and putting it all together. So, like as of now, we have around 14 patents in the blockchain and the biometrics. So the blockchain is for the decentralized space, and to access the blockchain, we have built the biometrics device. Uh, so far, like we are like the Mainnet is almost getting ready to like showcase all these technical and like and the patental know-how.
Okay, that's a great Akshay, because we're talking about blockchain and biometrics. So we've developed our own consensus mechanism, and consensus is the foundation for a strong blockchain startup. So if you could tell the community, very briefly about Arch consensus.
Oh yes. So, so so like now you understand the reason for a need for blockchain, and to access the blockchain you need a biometrics device, right? So for the blockchain, why the blockchain technology by Universe is unique and why it is one of the first of its kind is that this is created to Arch consensus, which is in turn built on many mathematical laws. And one of the important mathematical laws is hypergeometric distribution. So like this is the law which takes into account the randomness and entropy of the peer-to-peer network, and then which carefully randomizes all the nodes throughout the globe, and like the consensus is achieved. Say for example, I can take the example of Bitcoin, where almost 60% of the nodes are in China, and the 40% are in the rest of the world. So if tomorrow, if the like if all the Chinese miners, like all the Chinese Bitcoin miners, if they come together and if they want to take over the network, they can easily do so. But with Universe, uh, for any transaction to get validated, the nodes need to be geolocationally very well split throughout the globe, so that only then the consensus is achieved, and hence no geopolitical crisis or no war between two countries or no trade wars can affect the blockchain network. So that's how robust it is, like in terms of the security. So like not only in terms of security but also the sustainability. So like Universe blockchain consumes 3.6 billion times less than Bitcoin and 60,000 times less than EOS. So it's a very light, very fast through Arch consensus, and very simple through the biometrics. So to conclude, is just we call them as a 4S. One is a security, one is a sustainability, simplicity, and sustainability. So like
that that kind of is why we have always one of our vision always has been to make Uniris as simple uh, as a project that even your grandma can use it. And we've often said that it should be that simple, because only with scalability, simplicity, security, and sustainability, mass adoption comes. And with the research and the technology behind it, we have covered all four parameters. So Akshay, you were just mentioning, I'll go back to one of your earlier statements, that Uniris has filed 14 patents across US, India, China, and Europe. So 14 patents means a lot of research and cutting edge technology behind
yeah,
it. So
yeah,
with the we've already just discussed that it covers it solves the scalability trilemma, and is secure, is a project that can be scaled across the world. So with that in mind, what are the use cases? I mean, where do you see Uniris truly making an impact? When it comes to use cases of a product. If you could tell, few use cases that immediately come to your mind.
Oh yes. So like very quickly, just like how Google, Amazon, eBay are built on top of the internet. So similarly, any type of applications can be built on Unix blockchain, which make them even more secure, even more simple to use, and even more sustainable than their centralized counterparts. So like any type of application can be built on Unix blockchain. But to get started, like we are focusing mainly on the Uniris, like we are focusing on the mail and the decentralized website space. Like I'll explain to you why I'm taking these examples is because, uh, like what normally when you see most of the blockchains today are focused on the payments, right? If you see from Ethereum, Bitcoin, and Polkadot, so they all started with the payments as a use case. But Uniris, on the other hand, like is choosing a massive like email, massive like decentralized websites as their first use case. So like I'll tell you why soon.
Okay, so decentralized mail is very exciting because the number of spam mails you get and the amount of threat you have to your email addresses these days is just increased. And honestly, in today's world, it's impossible to live without a email.
Yes.
So decentralized mail is very exciting, and as an application, and like you said, it also sets Universe apart from other players in the space because payments is in a way being done by everyone. I mean, do we see something very soon on when it comes to decentralized mail? Is there an application that is
Oh yes.
gonna come live
Yes.
soon?
So like decentralized websites and decentralized emails
Okay.
will be one of the very first use cases on top of Uniris blockchain, and they are like and they are in the pipeline and like will be like at the end of this year or in the beginning of next year. So like they are in the pipeline. To come to that, like to come to your question before, I was just thinking right now is that what are the use cases on top of Uniris blockchain, right? So like I explained to you, any type of Uniris blockchain can be built, but I just wanted to add a point that so like Uniris has been certified by the Paris Olympics to organize major sporting events. So like why did Paris Olympics choose us is basically because we are very much inherently built to deploy decentralized applications focused towards smart cities and smart decentralized identity management and all that. So like that's a very strong point, and those dApps are the like the strongest of Universe blockchain. So I just
Okay.
wanted to add that point.
Yeah, so that's another major use case that community will hopefully be seeing very soon. So that's about Uniris as a blockchain and biometrics startup, and we've talked about use case. But now comes the more interesting part, which is the Yuko token. So, in your opinion, if you could give some insights about Yuko, how it started and how far it has come, uh, so that will be great.
Oh yes. So like a blockchain definitely needs a cryptocurrency to make it more prosperous. So a blockchain can run by itself without a cryptocurrency, but with a cryptocurrency, like the blockchain will be more prosperous. So with Yuko being the cryptocurrency of Universe blockchain, this adds a lot of value uh, to the people who have been with Universe from a long time, to the use cases, and to the general community. So like I'll just explain to you. So we started with a value of 0.006 euros in the private sale, and now we are almost 45 times the value. So like within 1 year, like the price of Yuko like has become 45 times, and we expect it to go much more, like what considering the many use cases and the kind of use cases, and considering the Paris Olympics and all that, we are expecting it to go huge. But why Yuko is like what inherently like an outperformer of the cryptocurrencies is because we have like the very two basic principles of economics. So create demand and control supply. So through our very unique token economic model, we carefully like what allocated UCOs in such a way that an automatic burn and automatic decrease in inflation and all that are taken into account, and the number of use cases and the number of people using it are carefully like what elevated compared to the price of Yuko. So we will see a much stable increase in the price of Yuko than other cryptocurrencies which just go up and come down. So like that's inherently built within the token economics model of Yuko.
Which kind of is great, and that is why Universe has done spent some time on research before getting into this space. So it's vetted by researchers and academicians across the world. And because people are joining us and this is our first live in English, if you could quickly tell the community where to buy Yuko
Oh,
in
yeah.
case they want to, that will be great.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah. So like Yuko can be bought on multiple exchanges, like all the way like if you're in France, you can buy it at Zebitex, and if you're in Asia, you can buy it at Probit and Bithumb. But if you are just worldwide and just want to have a very private and a decentralized exchange, then you can go for Uniswap. So there are many options. So it just depends upon the country in which you are in and the regulations, like for which are at place. So for Indians, if you want to buy, they go to WazirX, buy Bitcoin there, and then send the Bitcoin to any like any exchange where Yuko is listed, and then buy Yuko. So like that's a bit complex, and our team is really working on listing the Yuko like in multiple exchanges, like of one like in the top tier exchanges, and very soon we will be global, and with just a click you can buy Yuko. So
So that is great, and like you said, there are multiple exchanges in the pipeline, and which the community will see very soon. So that's about Yuko as a token, and we wanted to keep this video very short, but we can't end this video without talking about one of the most talked about questions right now within our community, the mainnet. So, if you could just quickly, tell us developments on that front, and
yes.
in your opinion, when can we expect to see the mainnet live?
Oh yes. So, so like one thing which is very inherent to the DNA of Uneris is that so like whatever we did, we are doing and we are going to do. So like everything is on the roadmap and like is on the white paper. So whatever the work you have seen with patents, with the yellow paper, with the white paper, so like everything is in the white paper. So like we are exactly following that. And by the end of June or in the beginning of July by 2021, so the mainnet will be live, and like once the mate is live, like we'll then organize multiple testings, like hackathons, and just what take the community forward. Since there is a live, people can start building their decentralized applications very fast, and it's just so like we are also building a blocky kind of smart contracts where people can just drag and drop their boxes to like build like what decentralized applications. So it's going to be a very interesting phase, like for both Uniris and the developers. And yeah, let's get started with developing from July.
Yes. Okay. So we've talked about mainnet going live, and we also said that we'll be answering a few questions in this session that the community wants us to answer. So there's this very interesting question that has come. How will
Hmm.
Ethereum 2.0 affect Yuko? Uh, so if you
Yes.
can kind of discuss that, that will be great.
Oh yes. So like I just want to add this point. So no matter what, like the blockchain ecosystem is thriving. So the proof for this thriving is basically Ethereum. So like Ethereum 1.0 to 2.0, like what just gives an example that the blockchain ecosystem is thriving. But with Ethereum, like what moving from 1.0 to 2.0, So there is this very close problem of engineering, right? So all the people who are using 1.0 need to be moved to 2.0. So it's a very tough process for Ethereum. But like what blockchain ecosystems like Uniris, which are inherently built on the chain, and like any movement or any updates can be done on the chain, are way uh, further than the Ethereum. So like in this way, we can definitely see that like the Yuko will outperform uh, like the Ethereum.
Okay, so then that is great. And now, because we've talked about Ethereum 2.0, how will it impact Uniris? Another very interesting question that has come, and this is something that is being talked about massively right now, is sustainability. Recently Elon Musk tweeted that Tesla will not use
Exactly.
Bitcoin for payments
Yeah.
because of the energy consumption. So in terms of sustainability, because all of us want the world to be a green world, and
Exactly.
things like climate change and all are talked about frequently. In terms of sustainability, what is Universe's edge?
So, so yes, very quickly, when we talk of sustainability, we need to understand one thing, right? So if you take an example in 2010, okay, like what would be the number of transactions you would do online in 2010? Maybe one or two transactions a day, normally, like payments or emails or whatever. So right now in 2021, like you're doing almost 30 to 35 transactions a day. Like it can be any transaction, payment transaction or sending files or whatever. So, but as time goes by, the number of transactions on the internet is definitely going to increase. It's going to be thousands, 10,000s, and if the IoT or the smart city apps pick up, it's way more. It's in the millions. So, so if that's the volume of transactions on the internet, when we move from the internet to a decentralized space, like the decentralized protocol should be able to handle those many transactions, right? So
True.
like this is where like what Universe is very uniquely placed to handle any number of transactions globally, billions and trillions of transactions, mainly thanks to the Arch consensus, which is able to carefully manipulate the transactions across the globe and carefully reach a consensus and then take everything into account, like the number of miners, number of peers in the network, like the number of people using it, number of transactions, and all that. So like that's where you like Universe unit based, and each transaction consumes like I told you, it's 3.6 billion times less than Bitcoin.
Okay, okay, that's that's great, and in fact, that puts Uniris way up higher above the notch,
Yeah,
as
yeah. Mm.
as compared to standard that industry is following right now. So I think we've answered two very interesting questions, and that had come from the community. We've also given insights about a major announcement, which is a mainnet going live towards the end of June and July. And I think we can end this now, Akshay. Uh,
Oh yes, yeah.
so before we end, thank you to all of you who have joined, and big hello to all our supporters. We've done this first time in English, and so we've kept it very brief, but we'll do another one very shortly, where we will talk about the project in detail, because we've just given a very brief background right now, but there is much more innovation and disruption to talk about. So stay tuned. All of For those of you who are seeing this for the first time, you can follow us on our Telegram group. You can connect with me or Akshay over email, LinkedIn, and we will be more than happy to help you to become a Uniriser or join our growing community.
Oh yes.
So let's end this now, Akshay, and thank you for your time.
Thank you, and looking forward for all the collaborations and work.
Yes, thank you all for joining.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.